Well, when you were 25 getting on stage, your brother was already a huge star.
Yeah, he was big.
What kind of pressure was you? That's ridiculous, right? Come on now.
Yeah. I was doing the
You Chris Rock brother. You Chris Rock brother.
Yeah. I was doing the open mics. I was doing the bringer shows. I was barking for an audience in Harlem. Like,
really?
You know, you bark outside.
Right, sure.
Come on, show 5 minutes. Lady, hey,
that's
sweetheart.
Real. That's real.
2 tickets for the price of one. Like, trying to solicit your own audience. I was doing that. And then they would bring me up Tony Rock. Like, what? Wait, is that? And they would always, you know, the people, of course, they would always drop the bomb. Like, you know who this is? This is Chris Rock's brother. So all that pressure, but I had to go through it so that I wouldn't lose credibility with my peers. I never wanted them to go, he didn't do it the right way.
Come on now.
Like a lot of siblings in the business did. They didn't do it the right way.
That's
no his name, but
I get what
they
you're
didn't
saying.
do the
dirty work. Did you emulate your brother? Are y'all so? I don't know.
No, we different. I'm not saying I'm a gangster, but I was more street than he was.
Come on
so
now.
my comedy was more like in the street. I was like, you ever been on the subway? You get in a fight on the subway, and the dude be like, you know, and he was more like. Ronald Reagan said today, you know.
Well, and I'm gonna get past this, but I respect you so much because you are your own man on stage, and you went. And I'm being honest with you, man, because you could have easily did the Chris, you know, my brother and wrote the whole rock. Yeah. But you know, he's a goat, and to be brother of a goat, like I don't want to. The pressure on that is like you ain't your brother. Like let me be me, homie.
Right.
So did you would do a lot of that shit?
I still get that to this day. I get people at the shows like,
wow.
When the show's over, like, hey man, how your brother doing? And I always say, which one?
Right. I love it.
Don't just act like he's the only one you care about. Like, which brother?
Right.
How your brother? Which one?
And then how does Jordan feel about the shit?
Nah, Jordan's amazing. Jordan,
he after all y'all.
Jordan Rock is my favorite comedian. My brother Chris didn't do as much for me, which is what I wanted.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do everything I can for Jordan. That's baby bro. I love him to death. Yeah. Whatever I can do, I'm making phone calls.
I saw him one time on some Netflix or something. I saw him doing
show on Netflix.
On Netflix, he did stand up, right? Yeah. And I was like, damn, that whole Rock family good.
Yeah.
He not good at the point he wasn't. I think it was good as y'all, but I saw the light.
Right.
I saw the flicker. I'm like, that's material.
Comics can see it. Comics can watch an open micer and go,
he got something there. Yeah. There's something there.
You can see it.
Yeah, because one thing I like too of your whole family is you do intelligent material. It ain't farting all night long. Right. You know, I'm like, damn, you know.
Well, it's not anymore. When we started out, you got to go through.
Oh, well, I catch you then. I caught you the better time. It's like, busting a nut. You know, you know, how many nuts can I butt? You know, like me, I'm sick, man. Out of here.
Everybody does.
Right. So you started doing well in New York.
Yes, I was strategic, man. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get in every comedy club in New York. I'm gonna be a paid regular at every comedy club in New York. And by the time I did that, it was like 15 comedy clubs in New York.
Okay.
I would make enough money in a weekend to pay my rent.
Damn. For the month.
So that was okay. Rent's taken care of. Then it's groceries and. You know, if I had to do, remember you had to make tapes to send to comedy clubs to get booked back then. You had to get a stack of VHS tapes, record your sets and mail them to comedy clubs across the country to get stage time.
Right.
So I was doing that. I had to pay for headshots, but I had money. I was like, okay, cool. But when I started, I was like, I was way more disciplined. I don't want to say way more than I am now.
Right.
But I knew if it was going to work, if I'm coming behind my brother, it's going to have to be, this is all you do. You got to do this every day, all day. So I didn't go on any dates.
Right.
Damn. I wasn't chasing chicks. I wasn't hanging out in parties. I had literally left a life that I had behind to do this.
Right. And you left life
when I was working a regular job, like I'm saying, when I had a 9 to 5,
right.
I would get off on Friday. We in a car driving to Philly for the weekend. Yo, let's go to Baltimore. Let's go to CIAA. Let's go to Howard Homecoming. Let's go to Hampton. Once I started stand-up, I was like, yo, y'all be cool.
You became a student. I love that.
I gotta write these jokes. I gotta do this open mic. So if it was a date with me, was like, yo, bounce around New York City with me from comedy club to comedy club.
Did you ever feel like come on, bro, help me a little bit?
No.
Never. That's dope.
No. I've always been like, all my brothers will tell you, like I've always been a super duper confident dude. Like I've always been like.
Yes, I get it. My way
I can hit the baseball.
Nice.
I can hit the jumper. Like,
what kind of job you have?
Everything, bro.
What Tony Rock work at?
I worked in warehouses. I worked
at
the Metropolitan Museum. I worked at AIG. I was a catering manager. Everything. Whatever was hiring, if I needed money, because I just needed to get money to sustain what I was getting. I said, what I was doing.
Right.
I just want to get off on Friday and go out of town for the weekend.
So when again, you said 25 is when you decided to be a comedian.
Yeah.
What was it before? Oh, because you didn't want to be like your brother. That's what the point was.
So it was like, I'm not trying to follow. It seemed like a really like a crapshoot. Like how many people really make it? You know?
Oh, okay.
And then I thought my mother's a school teacher.
Okay.
My mother, emphasized education our whole childhood. It was like, get a job, get a degree, you know, all that stuff. So I kind of felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing because it's been ingrained in my head. Get out of school, get a job, white picket fence, all that. But everybody doesn't go that way. And once I realized like, hey, I can still be successful and not follow her blueprint.
Right.
Or his.
I'm about to say, but yeah, he didn't follow the blueprint.
I my own thing, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Right.
And my older brother, and my brother Andre, like he left school and started his own trucking company, and it was like, wait, we all kind of live in our own in our own space and doing what we want to do. So I was like, let's do this.
You're so East Coast to me. You know, you're very East Coast. What? When did you come to LA? Did the agent bring you to LA? Or
No.
You tried?
Here's the rule. You ready for the rule?
Oh.
Gentlemen watching this, young comedians. I was taught you never come to Los Angeles until Los Angeles invites you to Los Angeles. Because if you're the funny guy in Kentucky and one day you just go, you know what? I'm going to LA. And nobody knows you're coming, you're just the guy out here trying to get on stage, trying to get spots, trying to get auditions, trying to get people to take notice.
That's so real.
But if you do something in your city and get notice, then they say, hey man, you should come out to LA and you know. So I stayed in New York as long as possible. I did the Montreal Comedy Festival.
There you go. Big festival.
I was one of the breakout, at the time it was big, it's not as big as
Right.
I was one of the breakout comics that year. I did New Faces. My class was me, Corey Holcomb, Mike Young, Sam Tripoli. There's a lot of guys that's still working. We see each other in the airport like, yo, what you had this weekend? Like, we getting it.
Right.
So I was in a good class, and I was like one of the breakout guys that year from New Faces. I did New Faces.
Sure.
And when I got off stage that night, the first night, one of the executives from Fox handed me her card and said, I need you in LA Monday morning. And that's when I came to LA. So I came out with a little bit of hype behind me, a little bit of a buzz, and they started sending me on auditions. I got in all 3 comedy clubs in LA in 3 days. I landed that Sunday. I auditioned for the Factory.
Laugh Factory.
Monday I had to audition for the Improv. And Tuesday I had to audition for the Comedy Store, and I got in all 3 in 3 nights.
Turn me up a little bit.
If you like that clip, hit the subscribe button or the notification bell. In fact, why don't you hit both of them?